Okay, could you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your role here at Raven Gap?
Sure. So I'm Chaplin Mary. My full name is Mary Reynolds Hemmer Dimmler, as many of you know, and I am the chaplain at Raven Gap Nacoochee School for all three divisions. So I work with pre-K through 12th grade and all of our faculty and staff.
How has COVID-19 changed your role?
Well, it has expanded my role and changed it a little bit. So my job is to be a pastoral presence, which means to kind of be available for some of the emotional, spiritual needs of people on campus. And that has actually increased a lot because we're all really stressed and anxious right now. So I've ended up doing more of that kind of work this year than usual. And boy, it's really changed how we do chapel, hasn't it? Because you all know, those of you who are returning students know what chapel normally is like and how different that is this year. It's not as different in the middle school as it is the other two divisions, but it's required quite a shift because we can't all be in the same space together. And I really, really miss that.
We know that COVID-19 disrupted our lives, but in your opinion, what has changed it for anything for the better?
So there are some good things that have happened. One, I think it's made us learn how to be more versatile and dynamic in the way that we teach and in the way we do things. We've had to learn a lot more technology, which is great. I know for myself, I've had to learn to do some new things, and it's made me kind of rethink how we do chapel and what my focus might be. So those are all good things. I've learned a lot from it. And then personally, I've sort of had some positive things that come from it that wouldn't have otherwise, like connecting with people I otherwise wouldn't have known and having extra time with people that I otherwise wouldn't have had. Of course, that means I also haven't seen a lot of people because we stay very close to campus because we don't want to risk exposure and bringing it back to campus. So there are people we haven't seen, but people we have seen. So there are some positives to it. Now, I'd rather have learned those lessons in a different way, but since we are in this situation, that's a very good question because it's important to look and see at the positive of every situation.
You work in all three divisions. What is unique about working in the middle school?
Oh, I love working in the middle school. Absolutely love it. And I love working with middle school students. One of the things that's very different in the middle school is the way we do chapel. I don't get to have all of that interaction with all the students in the other two divisions like I do with you here at the middle school because of your rotating schedule on Thursdays. I get sort of FaceTime with all of you in some way, shape, or form in real time on Thursdays, and I don't get that with the others, and I really, really like it. I love the middle school. I love all the things that happen here, so it's always a good day when I get to come here.
Okay, how do you reach all students? For example, students who do not have a Christian background.
It's a very good question because we are a Christian school. We have a lot of students who aren't Christian. We have a lot of students who are nothing, what we call nuns, N-O-N-E-S, nuns. We have students who are our next biggest demographic, other than Christian and nuns, would be, we have a lot of Muslim students, and then would be, probably after that would either be Buddhist or Hindu right now, and then we do have some Jewish students as well, or students who are part Jewish and part something else. So that's a very important question because we are a Christian school, but our goal is not to make everybody Christian. It's to sort of feed the spiritual life of everyone wherever they are. So for me as a chaplain, what that means is I use Christianity, our tradition, as a lens through which we look at the world because there are important universal principles that all of us need to learn to accept in our lives and process for ourselves and apply to our lives. So my mission, my mantra, if you will, my mission statement for myself and my work as a chaplain here is to cultivate a compassionate campus. And I use Christianity as the lens through which we do that, but it's not exclusive to everyone else. And in fact, in normal years, not in a non-COVID year, I actually have events at my house for students who aren't Christian. Normally we have dinners for Muslim, Jewish, and Hindu students, and also Christian students, but who are Eastern Christianity, like the Orthodox students. We have dinners at our house for them around their major holidays so that they have a chance to celebrate the festivals and holidays that are important to them with foods that are familiar and doing some of the traditions that are familiar. So I find that to be a very important part of my work, and I'm really missing it this year.
What are some most important lessons that you would pass on to middle school students?
The thing I would tell a middle school student, and that I try to hope I get across to you in every way that I can is, well, of course, 1, I love you. 2, God loves you. But 3, love yourself. So love yourself for who you are, not who you think you should try to be, not who you think anybody else should try and tell you to be. You are beautiful and wonderfully made just as you are. And it can be really hard in middle school as you're figuring that out to embrace that and love yourself. So that's be the biggest number one thing is start to figure out now who you are and how to love that person rather than trying on different personalities that aren't your own. Because the more you settle into your identity and understand who you are as a unique and wonderful and beautiful person, the sooner you start to settle into who that person is, the more confidence you'll have in that person, the more you'll be able to embrace your identity as you move into the upper school and have confidence with the things you really want to do. So that's my biggest encouragement, other than the two things I always want you to know, is to start to love yourself in a way that helps you develop more fully into the things that make you who you are, so you can grow in confidence in who you are.
Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just love you all middle schoolers. You know I do. I'll see you later.
What is good, better, best?
So, good, better, best, I actually took away from my middle school principal. I remember his name was Mr. Holt. I remember him coming on the intercom system each and every morning, giving us instructions and reminders and words of wisdom. And he always closed his comments with good, better, bests. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. So it's a little slogan, a little saying that I think helps keep students focused on their purpose in school and in how they should be approaching their days.
Okay, how does it apply to us at the middle school?
So I use this little slogan with my middle school students to help them kind of stay calibrated and focused on doing their very best each day that they're here. I think when everyone's at their best and trying their hardest is when we are at our best. So it's just my little piece that I share with students to help them remember from time to time that putting your best foot forward is a healthy habit.
Okay, thank you.